Hey everybody. Boo doo 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 doo. It's the Danielle Moore Show with another one of my exclusive interviews with one of my handsome men. Ain't I lucky? Yes. Well, today I have Ghost Ryder here. That is Ghost with a Goest. We're going to get into that name in a second. I just feel really privileged that you took out some time to come and see me. You have a very busy schedule right now. So
Yes.
thank you so much for
You're
coming to
welcome.
see
Thank you for
me.
having me.
I want to get straight into the start of your name. You know, it's not spelled Ghost. It is
Right.
Goest, Ryder. How is it that you developed that? What made you come up with it that way?
Well, the Ghost Rider thing actually started. I wanted to be a ghost writer.
Okay.
I never even thought or seen myself as a artist, as a
Okay.
performer. However, I did like writing. So I started when I was in prison,
Okay.
and and I started doing rap battles and whatnot, and I was just slaying dudes. So
That's what
uh,
I was just about to
yeah,
ask you. You remind me of a battler, no lie. Like
yeah.
listening
So
to your music, I see the battle.
So I started slaying dudes, and they're like, dude, like, you forget about the ghost writing, like, you're Ghost Rider. So it's just kind of one of them things that kind of stuck, and here we are.
Ghost Rider.
And the spelling, I actually, I did a little bit of research on SEO and things like that, so to, really identify with my brand. So we went with that spelling.
I got that. I like
Yes.
that. I like that. See, I tell my viewers, do your research. Did you hear what this man just said? And I'm gonna tell you a little reason why I'm bigging him up. Everybody knows Ghost, but he even says he did his research. You do your
Yes.
research on your things.
You
That's how
have
you
to.
become better at what you do. Research, study, get it done. So, I noticed in your music, I want to get straight into your music before we talk about some personal. It is really real. Like them lyrics, they have to be coming from a certain place. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely.
You have the one song that I like that is dependent on chemicals. Like that explains another side of the drug abuse.
Yes.
And I'm thankful for that because right now we're at a time where getting high, getting drunk is what's popping, and it's really actually not. So just explain a little bit more about the song Dependent on Chemicals.
Yes. Well, the song depended on chemicals. When I actually first started writing it, I was in prison at the time, and at that time, I had never even laid a track down in a studio. I really didn't even know how to structure bars correctly,
Okay.
like in all honesty. And but I was coming off of a long run of active addiction, which led me to prison. So at the time, it was my way of venting. It was my outlet, and
Okay.
to talk about the things that I had went through that led me to where I was. However, I was conflicted. You know what I mean? Prior to that, I did have a mind frame where I wanted to get high, and I didn't care what anybody thought.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I was in a place where I'm like, that's what took me to where I'm at, and something has got to change.
Right.
So it's not a glorification of that lifestyle by
It's
any
self
means.
destruction, actually.
Absolutely.
And it's a glorification of the people that's making money off of you.
Right.
It is not for the person. The person is self destructing, they are committing suicide. And
Every
they don't
day.
even realize that, not only on themselves, but on their penis, because it stops working. I mean, I'm just trying to tell y'all boys, it stops working. You get to 50, and then what you going to do? You like them young, what you going to do? They ain't going to want you. You're going to be limp noodle because you decided to get high all in your 30s and your 20s and things like that, right or wrong.
Yeah,
Ain't you happy you stopped?
yeah,
You
ain't no
still
doubt.
working, ain't you?
Absolutely.
You still working. Saved
uh,
you. Well, that's what's up. As far as dependent chemicals, that's really actually getting a lot of uh, uh, recognition, and I
yes.
believe it is because of the epidemic of the opiate addiction that is going on right now.
Yeah, it's certainly a major epidemic, not only in the city, but nationwide. And there's a huge movement of people that are trying to bring awareness to it.
Yes,
And I've reached out. I've spoke to some of those people, one who you just introduced me to. So,
yes, yes.
and I'm looking
Shout
forward
out
to.
Chris Knight, Average
Yes.
Addicts. That's my boy. Yes, yes. And I know that when speaking of talking to people, I see your fan following. They are committed to you, and
Yes.
I noticed that You might not know this, but because I had to research you, there's a lot of people you saved just by being so raw and honest. You gave them a outlet to look up to. So I commend you. Double high
Thank you.
five
Thank
on
you.
that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. You want to have to teach Ann James how to high five me because he knocks me all the way back. So I like that one. That was nice. That was nice.
Gotta be easy with the ladies.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, so back to them fans. I love how you keep in touch with them. You're constantly, if they post, if they comment something, you're responding back.
Yes.
The artists need to know that is
It's very important. You got to be engaging on social media. And I think one of the main issues with people, and I don't get it, is people let their ego get the best of them. You know what I mean? I have a lot of things going on. A lot of it's I can't make announcements on.
Right.
But
industry.
And here's the thing, like your fans are who support you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Period, point blank. If you don't have them out there supporting you, buying your merchandise, coming to your shows, sharing your music, you're not gonna make it in this industry. So you need to appreciate them.
Right.
And take a second out to comment back or message.
Right. Right.
You ain't too good. You know what I mean? Until you're too busy to where you don't have the time to do that.
But then you hire somebody to do that.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Yes.
So, just one more thing about your fans, because I just like to mention, I love whenever people are humble enough, like you said, to shout them out. So anybody that, is Goest's fan, we're going to take out a second right now to tell them thank you, thank all your fans. And as far as even on your live, is your live the last?
Yeah, the live is going.
Let's shout your live out right now for everybody that is watching that follows this man. You can catch our full exclusive interview on Grind Mode Worldwide. That is on YouTube. Make sure you get our app. If you have the app, if you have Apple, it is GMWW Worldwide Radio. No, sorry. Listen, you guys, I'm getting it. It is GMWW Radio. I always say worldwide because we are going to be worldwide. Seriously. So I add that onto it all the time.
It's a grind mode
yes,
thing.
That is a grind mode thing, baby. So as far as on Google Play, you can get it at Grind Mode Worldwide Radio on Google Play. And one more time for the Apple Store, it is GMWW Radio. Anytime you would like to hear me, just go on there. You can see things from him, his music. Just come and visit us. Again, check us out for the whole full exclusive interview on Grind Mode Worldwide Radio on YouTube.
And hey, real quick before we cut out, this Saturday, 7 o'clock,
yes.
Club Karma, come check us out. We rocking, knocking out with Jake Hill. He's coming in from, he got a national tour going on, so I'll be performing live. Big Will will be in the building.
Yes.
Make sure you come out this Saturday.
Come out and see that. There's a lot of things happening in the city.
And definitely go watch the full interview. Peace.
Yes.
So let's get back to it.
Yeah, let's get back to it. You brought up one of your performances coming up that actually was one of my next questions.
Yes.
Like I stated, you are very busy. I seen your lineup. You got a lot of things going.
Yes.
And I'm trying to get some secrets out of you, but I know I can't get them. But as far as this performance that's coming up, are you the showcase, or are you just being part of it?
So with I had got approached by a promoter, Big Bash Entertainment.
Shout out Big Bash.
Yeah. So John approached me, asked me if I'd be a part of this event, and I spoke with the venue owner down at Karma, and he actually is interested in having me doing, because we just had the Lafayette Enterprise presents Rock the Mic,
okay,
which is an artist showcase.
Okay.
And they seen how successful it was because we sold the place out.
Right.
And so now they want me to, contemplate or, start doing a showcase at their venue.
Okay.
But so, they said, hey, listen, you want to come, open up
awesome.
and perform with Jake Hill. So I said, yeah.
Because you already are in a position to be a manager. You already are building, you have built yourself up enough to where you can help the artist get to where you are at in your place.
Yes.
Now, I understand that you can't mention who it is that you exactly are signed to now, but can you at least explain to our viewers the process that it took for you to pick the right distribution company to go with because you are an independent?
Yes. So actually, the jury's still out on nothing. The ink ain't dried on anything
Okay.
yet. We're in the process of negotiating. They want to do. They approached me about doing a distribution deal on my Ghost Stories, the prologue album. And the terms weren't right. I did my research. You got to have knowledge in this industry,
Yes,
or else people will definitely take advantage of you.
Yes.
But something is going to happen. We're not sure if it's going to be a single, if it's going to be an EP, an LP. And actually, I can mention the name. It's Cleopatra Records, and they distribute through Sony's Orchard, which is the largest distributor of digital music in the world. So it's kind of a big deal. But what I did is I did my research, I did my due diligence, and I just reached out, sent emails, follow-up emails. Even if I didn't get a response, I would follow up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you just got to be extremely persistent.
Yes.
And the one thing about the original deal that I was offered, there's not an artist that's doing this that I know that wouldn't have taken that deal.
Right.
But I knew enough. I had educated myself well enough off that I knew that it wasn't ideal for me at the time.
Right.
I know my worth, and
you're not with settling.
No. And
either way, you're going to shine.
When you invest your money, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have no one backing you. You are your label. And then once you need help to get to the next level, it's like, okay, well, I put this all together.
Yes.
I did this.
Yes.
I didn't have your help then. So, let's move forward accordingly.
Right.
And
speaking of your label, that is what is the name of it?
Lafayette Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yes.
With, me and my partner Big Will.
Shout out Big Will.
Yes. And just so you know, too, Big Will's working on his debut mixtape called God's Will.
Okay.
That's going to be a Lafayette Enterprise release.
That'll be dropped here, of course, exclusively.
Yes. Actually, we just we just figured that we're gonna be shooting a music video for the song called "Fuck Boy," featuring myself with Big Will. Yeah, it's a dope cut.
I know a lot of fuck boys, so I like that. I literally am excited to debut that shit right there. Please bring that out, because that is that's what's needed for this summer, for real. Fuck boys want to blow.
It might be summer. The summer anthem.
Yes, fuck boy. Yes.
She's like saying fuck boy. That's all.
Yes, I like saying fuck.
But yeah, so as far as like the managerial stuff, I've managed myself from day one. Now I'm managing Will.
Okay.
And also managing the label. I mean, I wear a lot of hats with
the
everything
job.
I do.
That's what people need to understand. See, I'm here to explain the true grind behind everything that is done in the entertainment field. There is a grind behind what you do. We don't sleep.
I don't sleep.
Like, literally, sleep does not exist.
No. I always used to use the hashtag sleep when dead.
Yeah. That's me. And you got a birthday coming up.
Yes.
A little bit of jump to subjects, because I was just about to say we have that in common, but we do, because you are a
Gemini. Yes. Hold on.
We got the double high five. Yes. Yes. Geminis are the best. We are some talented people.
And if you know, like, a lot of the most creative people of our time period have been Geminis.
Yes. Seriously.
Who's probably my absolute favorite rapper, Tupac.
I knew.
Is a Gemini. So
Biggie's a Gemini.
Yeah, Biggie is a Gemini.
As much as they don't like Trump right now, he's a Gemini.
I mean,
and listen, Kanye West is a Gemini.
Yeah.
Who else? Johnny Depp is a Gemini.
Yeah, the list could go on
and on and on. So just be happy to know me. Nah. No shouting out no Taurus. Like, no, I love my Tauruses also. I love all my signs, kind of. But back to us talking about you being a manager. As you transition in your musical career, are you going to focus more on managing, or are you going to be similar to like Biggie? I mean, not Biggie. Put some respect on his name.
Oh, Birdman.
Birdman, because Birdman, he is a manager, but he does also make good music too.
Yes.
Because there is room for both.
I mean, that's all my opinion about the good music, but
I like his beats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He always have nice beats and good hooks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, my focus, my focus is spread around, but nonetheless, I mean, as we grow, we want to start, bringing in and adding more people to the team,
Yes,
obviously, to
that brings
take
more
up a lot of
money.
that responsibility. One of them being grind mode.
Yes.
And so, pretty soon, I mean, me and Duke, we've spoke, for many years now.
Yes.
And grind mode is going to be, a big
Shout
part of
out
the team.
Dion. He has the
Yes.
connections. I'm
So
telling you.
that's my man for real.
Yes, yes.
Me and D, we went through a lot, but
Yes.
we're very like-minded individuals, and we both know this industry very well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
It's definitely
You both studied up.
yes.
And yes, I can honestly say that I've seen that with my own eyes.
Yes.
You guys were both able to, and there wasn't no disrespect in the conversation. It was all, I know this, you know this, we're going to come together on this, get
Right.
this done, get that done. I love business. Business turns me on.
Yes.
Nothing more turns me on than people talking about money. Let's be for
Right.
real. Like, shoot.
Well, so that's the thing with me too. I'm an entrepreneur first. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like I started my entrepreneurial skills in the streets when I was 13. You know
Right.
what I mean?
You had to.
And I had to. And then and I started my own business when I was 21. I mean, I was on pace to be a millionaire by the time I was 27. You know what I mean? I had some setbacks.
But tell them setbacks and honestly, drugs.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but it's also life lessons.
Yes,
you know what I mean. I wouldn't
yes.
be where I'm at, who I am today,
if it wasn't
had I not
for
gone
that.
through that.
Yeah, most definitely. But I also like to also put a lesson into why we are doing this interview. And yes, it's good that I'm not using the word good. It is let me think of a good word. It is an advantage that you did go through that because it helps you to connect with people on all angles. But if you could have swayed and went a different way, because you would have still been successful, it just came quicker because you went ahead that setback of the addiction. I can say that.
Well,
for myself.
here's how I look at it, right? See, I believe, in all honesty, like everybody has a purpose in
Yes.
life, and I should have been counted out years ago, you know what I mean? But I'm not. I'm here to tell my story, and I'm able to relate it to people who relate to me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Similar circumstances. Now, most people aren't able to battle through the things that I've been through and come out the other side.
Mhm.
I know so many people that lose their lives every single day. I go on
Yes, and I
Facebook.
said,
Every day I go on Facebook and somebody died, and 90% of the time it's from drugs.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? So I use my position and what I've been through, and I'm very ambitious. I'm persistent. So there's nothing gonna stop me.
Right.
Like period, point blank. I don't care who helps me. You know what I mean? To get I'm always gonna have a clear path
You
on where I'm
network
going.
very well.
Right. And so I just want to try to be able to provide hope for people that, what I mean, that have been or are where I've been, you know what I mean? Because it is possible.
Yes. And like I said before about your fans, I see that through
Right.
them, how they want to achieve. I don't know them personally or anything, but the fact of how they comment, the things that they say lets you know that you inspire them.
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy because I'll have, not only my fans who I know, but fans who I don't know. Like I never even know they knew who I was to reach
Right.
out to me and tell me how my music helped them through the worst time.
I love that.
Or I mean, to go even as far as to say that my music helped save their life. I mean, that's some really inspiring shit
It really
right there.
is.
And that's why I do this, because obviously I'm not doing it for the money right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know the money's going to come.
It's going to come.
It's definitely coming.
It's coming. It
Promise you that.
definitely is, for real.
Yeah.
And the way that, even speaking of networking and that the money's coming, you had an article in the Pittsburgh paper.
Yes.
They really big upped you. They really don't just let any old body up. They don't just let any old body up on there. So, that's such an honor. How was that experience? How did that feel to be recognized in that?
It was actually really nice. And shout out to Meg Fair for doing a major job on article. I mean, that thing came together so well. I'm really proud of the article. I'm proud of the energy that went into it, and they actually came out to the show too. They came out to Rock and Right. They sent one of their people out, and they kind of did a little write up on their experience while they were there as well. It was nice.
Called support.
Nice. Yes,
that's the best thing is support.
And one of the things that they mentioned too in that article was the work that I do with George Jr.
Okay.
And it's one of the things I actually wanted to mention here because I speak to the administrative staff there all the time. I'm actually going up there tomorrow for the seniors graduation.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
So they sent me an invite, and I'm happy to go up there and see some of the kids that I've already spoke to are getting ready to leave. And
That's awesome.
yeah,
And you know what's awesome? I don't know if you ever went through that as a child, like being inside of placement.
I did. And that's,
Man, they ain't have nobody cool. They
no,
really didn't. They
no.
had me thinking I was going to grow up. Just I
Listen,
can't even get there.
and
It's so I love that you're going and reaching out like that because you give them boys the the go to know that once you get out of here, even if you do decide to sell drugs, be on drugs, whatever, you can still make it. I don't, no matter what, you prove to somebody, no matter what, you can overcome any hurdle and make it. Because a lot of people say they can't quit and they don't, and they stay where they're at. You
right,
said, no, this ain't for me. I ain't got this to do. I
not
want to
at
be
all.
better, be bigger, and be greater. And that's literally what you have done. What day is the George Jr. graduation?
It's like I said, it's tomorrow. And the reason why is George Jr. is because you asked me, and I did 16 months there when I was a kid.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And one of the administrators, he was my college parent, so it was kind of his idea to have me come up here speak to these kids, and I did, and it was nice because afterwards they sent me thank you cards, and you know, I mean, it was just really nice to have appreciation for my
Yes.
time. And the thing is I'm able to connect with those kids on their level because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's like leaving there, and you know, what I mean, having so many questions or doubts or whatever.
Yes.
And another thing is like we're trying to use our platform because I'm also a music publisher. Um, we I have two songs off the upcoming album being placed in a movie called Unlawful Justice.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
and we're the publisher for those songs.
Okay.
So, what we want to do is we want to work with these kids, and we're trying to put together a nonprofit situation so we can offer them scholarships. So, the kids who excel in their music production program can take that home with them. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Because it's nothing like learning something like that and becoming passionate about making music. See, I'm all about the creative side of things. You know what I mean?
Yes, and you're teaching them every angle. It doesn't. You don't
Right,
just have to be a rapper.
right. So while they're up there and they're learning how to work the MIDI controllers and use the DAW software and stuff, this will allow some of those kids who are taking it serious and are excelling to be able to continue that as they go home because a lot of them kids ain't going home to nothing for real.
Right.
And that might be the end of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
This will allow them to continue and grow.
Right. Because they're only there for a short time, so then they have to go back into their environment. That's one of the things that you did mention with the last guest for Go Girls that you want, like you just said, you want them to have something else to go to. The fact that you are a businessman, because I'm gonna stop saying just about the music. The business side of you is what's going to attract them young men, because there's many managers sitting up inside of George Jr. also and
Hmm.
don't know what to do. So, is there any other? Do you go to Schumann by any
I
chance?
actually have been to Schumann. Mrs. Patterson invited me over to Schumann. This was a little while back. I did a little concert for the kids.
Oh, that's what's
Um, I mean, I had a
they
couple.
enjoyed that,
They
didn't
did. They did.
That
We actually even let them get up, and until things got out of hand, and we had to have to take the mic back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they enjoyed it. It was
They
a good
enjoyed
time.
that, and they'll remember that
And I
experience.
and I connected with a couple of those kids as well, and I could tell. And like, who knows that something like that may change the trajectory
It
of one
did.
of their lives. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
yes. Like, and it gives them hope in a different way instead of hope of, because when you are in them predicaments, you're not thinking about, I want to go
anything
to
positive,
college. Yeah.
right?
You actually look at that like, what? I'm not going to make money. I'm going to give money. I don't want to do that shit. So you give them a reason why they should want to do that study and
Absolutely.
why they want to do that research, why they want to get it done. Like,
And knowledge is power.
yes, it
You
is.
know,
Say that again. Knowledge is power.
and even when I was in the penitentiary, like I bought one of the books I sent out for was How to Start Running Your Own Record Label, and here I am.
Yes.
And
Who made that book?
I can't remember, to be
I think
honest
I
with
heard
you.
of that. I literally believe I read that book.
I read
got
that
it
book
from
3 times.
yeah, I got it from the library probably, I'm not gonna lie, 5, 6 years ago because I wanted to start taking my craft seriously.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to. You can't pussyfoot around and
No, you
half-ass
can't.
this shit.
You can't. It's a
This isn't a
moving.
9 to 5. This is 24 hours a day.
Yes, it's a moving cycle, and if you don't keep up, you will get left
And there's so
behind.
many different aspects, and until you're in a position to you put your work in and you pay your dues and you can afford to bring people on, you got
Yes.
to do it all yourself. And if you ain't willing
Yes.
to do that, then you better find something else to do. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying?
Seriously. You
Or
mentioned a little bit about being in prison. Is there any way that you can start doing outreach to the prisons? You know, they also need help.
you know, it's funny because like even with the civil rights stuff with the ACLU and I mean because I actually went to go sue the Allegheny County Jail. You know what I mean?
Oh, did
At
you?
one point, so I know a lot about prisoners' rights and things like that. And I know those conditions. I mean, they're just inhumane. A lot of them.
Yes, they
And
are. The
it's
water, the food, just the living situation that they're even in. So I've been mentioning it to some of my exclusive rappers about please look into that. Let's see what we can. Meek Mills ain't the only person that ever went to jail,
yeah,
though.
right.
Like he's not, and they are treating it as, oh, we're gonna save one of them, so then they won't pay attention to the rest. No, we can't. We cannot do that.
But,
So like beyond the George Juniors and the Schumans, we have to be able to grab the grown-ups too.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's definitely something that I will explore in the future. Right now, I'm working with the juveniles.
Yes, yes, I like
And
that.
between that and all the festivals we got going on this summer, my career as an artist, Big Will's career as an artist, running the label is we have a lot on the plate,
Yes,
which I
yes.
ain't mad about because I said I
Soon
was
you will
hungry. You know
have
what I'm
people,
saying?
yes, you'll have people that you can pay to do certain things that
Yes.
that you once was doing on your own. I know you mentioned the festivals. I know you can't say too much about it, but are
Yes.
you excited about that?
I'm thrilled.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
I am. In one of the festivals, I'm performing. Again, I can't really say the name of the festival because they until they release the lineup.
Okay,
But I do perform the main day of the festival, July 21st,
that's awesome.
up in Thornville, Ohio. And this is something. I mean, they bring out 20,000 people a
That's
year.
awesome.
And then there's another one down in Atlanta. I believe it's hashtag Music Fest. And that's, I think, August 12th down in Atlanta. I was asked to be a part of Yins Fest here in Pittsburgh,
Okay,
June
heard of that
30th.
too.
June
Is the
30th.
beer?
I don't know.
I think
I think
there's
it's a new
beer.
festival, but
Oh,
it's at
you say
Mr.
youth
Smalls.
or yins?
Yins Fest.
Yeah, I thought the yens was the beer. Well, you know what? You gave me something to look up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look it up, check it out, see what's going
Yeah, so
on
that's
with
out
it.
in Millville, and they want me to perform on the main stage. So
You're gonna be doing a lot of performing. Do you have like a little ritual that you do beforehand?
I don't like to drink or
Oh,
anything.
me
Like,
neither. Me neither. I try my best not to.
and I try to just no, not really. I mean, I practice a little bit leading up to it, but other than
Right,
that,
right. Just so like you don't transform into ghost. Do you feel like you have another personality?
when I get going, it definitely some takes over. You
Okay,
know,
you can feel it.
yeah.
Literally, you really can feel that that other trance like coming over you, like, oh, like I'm at it now.
Yeah,
I'm
once you
ready.
get in your zone, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And the thing is like the lights are so bright and the crowd just kind of goes dark
Right.
and you get up there and you do your thing. You
Right,
know?
right. I see you got some little notes over there.
Yeah, I
Is
just
there
wanna,
anything that we should cover on there?
I think we like pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
I know you had a question for me earlier. Um,
Yes, yes. So I also one more time to shout out Big Will. That's what caught my caught my attention when I said Goodwill. He's going thrift shopping. I love to thrift shop.
No.
And I said, no, one more time we gotta shout out Big Will
Big
for
Will.
that God's will. And what's that song again? Fuck
Boy.
boy. Can't wait till that comes out.
Yes.
So since you do, I see you got your own artists. You're working with people here in Pittsburgh. As far as industry wise, who is it that you would like to shout out to do some features with?
I mean, a couple. I would most certainly like to. Eminem's one of my favorite
Yes,
rappers. I
yes.
mean, he's a menace.
Yeah,
you know what
he
I mean?
is.
And obviously, just me being a white dude pursuing hip hop has gave me a tremendous amount of inspiration.
Yeah, it wasn't Vanilla Ice. I mean, I was just wondering. He made the, but don't make the only white rapper.
No, but
Like
in my opinion, in my honest opinion, I think Eminem, he's the GOAT.
Best.
Like
he
is.
really is though. He has a story. Like I feel the
Yes.
same about you.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
what makes him.
He's relatable.
Yes. Sometimes he get on my nerves because I ain't angry all the damn time. That fool is angry all the goddamn time, but that's what sells for him.
Yes.
And that's how he shows his passion. That's how he might be a Gemini too. Because we don't know how to separate sometimes.
But
yeah.
Besides M, I definitely T.I.
Oh, I love T.I.
T.I. I mean,
he's very talented. He's a hustler. That's a hustler
talented.
for real.
He's a hustler. He's a father.
Yes, I was about to say they had babies to make shows. He's a hustler. Do you hear me? Yes.
And then one of the other people that I really respect in this industry is Tech Nine.
Okay.
I mean, Tech is just a beast. And in all honesty, like with Lafayette's Enterprise, myself and Big Will, I mean, we've discussed it. That's more the approach that we're looking to take with our label.
I like Tech Nine.
Because I mean, that man, has built an empire. Him and Travis again, they built an empire, and they don't need major label help. You know what I mean? To make millions and millions a year.
I see that's where you're
going. I'm an independent. Yeah, I'm
this
an
man, like ever since I met him, literally, and he's not BSing. Like I done seen the contracts. He done turned down money, y'all, a lot. And like you were saying, that's another reason why we are doing this interview, so that the younger or the less polished people that are in it, because I don't want to just say younger, there's older people that are just now getting into it. Do your research.
Do your homework.
Do your homework. Don't just reach at whatever they're giving you, because then you can't be you. You'll be running around with tattoos, pink dreads and tattoos on your 69. Face. Yeah. And meanwhile, you go home and pray and read the Bible. But you get what I'm saying? You won't be able to be you. Be you.
It's like, are you going to perform or are you going to a circus?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to be no circus clown.
Right. And like in this industry, you are either the boss or you are
an employee.
Yeah. You know so you got to pick which way you want to be. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. If you know that you want that backing, you're in it for the fame, not the money, go ahead and go industry. Yeah. Go get signed. There's nothing all wrong with
15 seconds of fame will get you, you know what I mean?
Say it again. I'm telling you, listen, if you're not in it for the money and you're in it for the fame, go ahead and take that deal. We're not telling you not to do that. Just know, have a plan behind that. Know that either you're about to have to be an actor or learn different avenues, so that when you branch off, you can have something to
see. But also too, like since we're talking about, I'm just going to touch on it real quick.
Okay.
Is it depends on the type of deal or the type of situation, because every situation is unique.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to have an end game. I mean, you have to have a plan of like, okay, what's my exit strategy on this?
With everything.
You know what I mean? So, if you do get in a situation where, there's money, you know what I mean? But a lot of people don't understand is you got to pay that money back.
Yes, you do.
That's a loan.
Yes.
But if you use it and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do a one-off, and you do a one album deal, which most companies aren't going to offer you that.
Right.
But if you're able to leverage yourself and put yourself in a position to do that, then okay, you're like, okay, bang, well, that's just one. I mean, now then you take their money and get your little bit of fame or whatever, build leverage and then rock on from there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't have to, just don't lock yourself down.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right. Think beyond the moment of right now. Put yourself in a position where you don't need nobody. They're just an asset to what you are doing.
Right.
Like, be an asset to them and let them be an asset to you.
And also too, with this industry, a lot of people don't even recognize it because their egos just feed them. It's not always what somebody can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes you gotta really sit there and say, what can I do for you? Because that's big. That shit will go so far in this business. I mean, I won't even call this an industry because it's business. Everything about it is business.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's the music business, and it's 90% business and 10% music.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we hear a lot of this whack ass shit that we hear.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's the music business.
It's a phase, and it has to keep moving. It has to keep pushing. So if you become everlasting, you will never fade away. And the best way to become everlasting is to have many different things that you can do. You are very versatile. You decided to be a manager. You are helping. Well, you and Big Will are
We're
a good.
label, yes.
Yes, y'all are good assets for one another. Y'all can
Yes.
ping off of each other ideas and watch them grow. So before we leave, I just want to double high five you
All right, all
again.
right.
What? I want you to shout out the things that you are doing, what you have coming up that
Yes.
you are able to speak about
Yes.
right now.
So we're in the process of filming the video for the next single coming up off the album. The song's titled "Survive." Keep a watch out. I think Whammo is going to be a fan of this
That's
one.
right. We like Whammo.
Um, and like I said, we got some film placements coming up. Saturday, come check me out. Stage Karma, 7 o'clock. We're gonna turn up.
That's what's up.
And it's gonna be dope. Yes. And the Ghost Stories, the prologue album,
Mhm.
it's we still ain't set a date for it yet, but it's definitely gonna be coming out sometime this summer.
So as far as beats, I know that I am ending. There was just one thing I wanted to ask from everybody. As far as your beats, are you guys doing them in house? Do you get beats from someone?
We work with producers all over the
All right.
place.
Is there any you want to shout out real quick? I love to get a producer's love because without them, the song would sound crazy as hell.
Yes, a lot of productions I've gotten are from Cinnamon Beats, incredibly talented producer. Scare Beats. I just got a lot going on right now. I can't name them all.
That's
but
all right. Shout out to everybody that's there with you going
yes.
through this grind.
Yes.
Seriously.
Shout out to everybody. Much love and respect to each and every person that supports me.
Yeah.
That comes out to shows, that shares anything on social media. Without the fans, I can't do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Period, point blank. And I wouldn't even be in the position that I'm in right now if I didn't have the people that actually do support me, because the industry recognizes that I have real support.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I might not have inflated numbers, but I
see.
have real supporters. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. Like, anybody can go and pay to get their shit up.
Likes up.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? You can't pay people to come to your show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And buy your merchandise. Like, I have sales.
That is very true.
Like, I have sales. So.
I will tell you guys, just in being in this industry, some of the biggest and highest names don't have likes. They just have revenue. That's what matters.
Absolutely.
Get that money. That's what matters.
Ain't no doubt. But yeah, you can check out my website, ghostryder.com. It's spelled GoestRyder. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter @GhostRyder, Facebook, Ghost Ryder Official. And yeah, that's about it right now.
Check you out here on the Danielle Moore Show.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Anybody that I know you just read your tags off and how to get in touch with you as far as managing. Are you open for managing right now, or are you guys focusing on in-house?
Yeah, it's all in-house right now.
That's smart.
I mean,
you can give them the just dues that they deserve when
now
it's time.
One of the things, I didn't mean to cut you off. One of the things that we are working on is we put together the first Rock the Mic showcase.
Okay.
And it was a huge success. The venue was at capacity, and we're definitely going to be doing a series out of it. So
yes, let me know.
Artists definitely
media coverage.
Definitely reach out because this last one we had Street Motivation Magazine as a sponsor.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, videographers. I mean, the whole thing was done. It was recorded, photography. Very nice event. Good platform to get your music out. And it's gonna be a serious thing going on here in Pittsburgh for sure. The Rock the Mic concert series. Yep.
So tell them where you are at.
Grind Mode Worldwide Radio.
Yes.
Shout out to my man Duke.
Yes, stay on.
Definitely subscribe to the app, download it.
Yes.
I know I got it on my phone.
I know that's right. I feel as though you should come in here with it on your phone. How you coming in here without it? That's confusing. I don't understand that, but I just let them be. I'll be like, get that, yeah. Well, before I leave, I want to thank all of my viewers. I love you guys so much. I love all my guests. I'm so excited to see you guys again in 6 months, because I would like to see where I evolved, where you evolved. We could talk about the first interview and how I worked on cutting people off and how all types of stuff. So it's going to be exciting to hear that fuck boy. And again, it is Danielle Moore here on Grind Mode Radio Worldwide. Like I always tell you, you can catch us on grindmodeworldwideradio.com. That's Instagram and Twitter. You can also get us on Grind Mode gmwwradio at gmail. If you have anything that you would like to drop for us, like any music, you were interested on getting any interviews, that's the best way to get in touch with us. You can always hit me up on any of my social media platforms. It is the Danielle Moore Show, also Danielle Moore on Facebook. I also have I am DANIELLE .iris. That is Instagram and Twitter. Hit me up, give me some views, come in love with me because I love you guys. So I'm about to be out. Be sure to always tune into the Danielle Moore Show. I will always have exclusive artists, let you guys know what's really going on behind the scenes and what to go to get what you need to get done. So before we leave, do 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 do. Don't worry. Do 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 do.
Be happy.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
do
I
do do
mean,
do. Love y'all. Yes.
all right.
Yes, I love that.